the law is not on your side. The law is on the side of the capitalists, the people with the money. That's what's really unfortunate about this country. And in a way, right there, I'm already exposing where there's potential for exploitation. Like I said, I don't think that capitalism in nature was intended to be exploitative, but that the way things go, we're sort of pro-capitalist rather than pro-worker or laborer. And so anyways, but like I said, I think that people are allowing themselves. I think the main issue in our country, in our economy, and with capitalism in this country and the way it's manifested itself is that people allow themselves to be exploited daily. It's now acceptable. It's now, and it has been for a while now, that you're a consumer. This is what you do. You buy stuff, and it's like you constantly looking. People are constantly looking for things to buy. Ways to spend their money, ways to make themselves happy, and they get into this cycle. There's a chemical in your brain, and I don't know, dopamine or what, but it gets released every time you buy something, and you feel happy, and it's like you get into this like habit of buying this and buying that, and it's like one example that I was thinking of was probably especially around Black Friday, and I remember somebody I know, I won't call anybody out, but somebody I know who's talking about Black Friday, and I saved $500 buying this and that and the other during Black Friday, and it was I think it was like a TV, and it's like the last time they bought a TV was last year during Black Friday, and it's like, well, what's wrong with that TV that you had? Well, it's only just an HD TV, and it's like, okay, so what's this new TV that you're buying? It's a super HD TV, and it's like, okay, well, what's the difference? Well, you can see it's a little bit clearer, and it's like, okay, and you're being exploited. You're just allowing yourself to be exploited, and it's like it feels good. It's like a good feeling to be exploited. And I mean, I'm not trying to start a conspiracy theory here, but it's like, okay, that TV costs $500. Okay, well, first off, let me ask you, did you put money into a college fund for your kids? Well, no, is probably the answer for most Americans. And it's like, okay, how about your 401k? And it's like, well, my company offers a 401k, but I'm not, contributing to it. And it's like, okay, well, so, instead of buying that $500 TV, why don't you put $250 in the college fund, and maybe another, and then the other 250, start putting it into a 401k instead of a TV. There's nothing wrong with the TV that you have, but it gets deeper. There's even another layer to this, because it's like, even those college funds and the 401k is sort of exploitative as well, which I won't get into detail, but it's like almost everything you do in this country is exploitative. You sign up for a credit card, and I guarantee you that they have a way to exploit you, whether it's, there's a fee that you didn't know about, or that they're going to increase the interest rate that you didn't know about. And they write the law book on this. Maybe there's an annual fee, and it's the end of the year, and you're like, okay, it's December, almost January, I'm going to cancel my credit card because, and by the way, this actually happened to me. And it's like, so I was going to cancel my credit card before the end of this year. And so I called them up, canceled it, and they said, oh, well, we already charged you your $100 fee in August. It's like, I was like, okay, all right. I mean, it's not, that's what, 4 months ahead of time, but okay, whatever. I'll just roll with it, but I'm still canceling. And they said, well, if you choose not to cancel, then we'll give you an additional 5,000 points. And it's like, well, I don't care, because you just exploited me. That doesn't make me want to do business with you anymore. I'm done. We are done. We're going to shake hands and be done. And I'll never see you guys again. And I can't remember what it was, Chase or what. But, it's like, and to think that probably works. That's why they make that deal. to you, that offer you those 5,000 points, because I guess most people say, oh, okay, well, I guess that gets me some of my money back. And then they get themselves into this cycle where they're getting exploited a year after year after year. And, really, so let's talk about the fact that they charged me my annual fee for 2019 in August of 2018, 4 months before the end of the year. So that way I would not even realize it, wouldn't even think about it. It's because the people who own this corporation, again, I think it was a Chase card. It's like they have psychologists, they have, economists, they have mathematicians, they have, these people who are experts at their job, who's got exponential amounts of experience, who are potentially, some of them maybe even geniuses, very intelligent, running this company, giving them advice. How can you get people to continue to pay the annual fee? And the answer is that nobody will, in their right mind, choose to pay an annual fee. So we'll have to change the law. We'll have lawyers come in and make it legal for us to charge them in August rather than December, or better, what you would think they would charge you January 1st of the next year, right? That's the most logical thing to do. But no, they do it 4 months before. And at first it was like, oh no, we can't do that. That's wrong. And then they'd start talking to the lawyers, and the lawyers like, well, it sounds immoral, but we can make it legal. We've got people lobbying in Washington, D.C. We can make this legal, and so this is how it works. These people who are smarter than the average person, these people who are wealthier than the average person, who are more experienced than the average person, they're winning, and they're winning for the corporations and the capitalists, because even those lawyers are being exploited to a certain degree. They're having to give up their moral integrity to help these capitalists continue to exploit you and me. And you and I, the average commoner, the average person, needs to become privy to this. And I guess you could say that the phrase is woke, to wake up to what's going on here, and stop throwing your money away. Stop getting exploited. This exploitation is it's maddening, and it happens all the time, and you are losing, and look, you're not alone. And it's not just because you're an idiot and you're stupid or you're worthless. And that's what all of this is intended to do. All of this is humming along in the capitalist's favor. And I'm not saying that you should become a capitalist, because honestly, personally, I'm biased against capitalists. And it's possible that someday I will become a capitalist. And in a way, I hope not. I don't want to exploit anybody. It unfortunately is the only way you can get ahead in this system. I'm not an advocate at all, and that's another thing. I'm not an advocate of socialism. I'm not an advocate of communism. I don't know what I am, but I just want to get along with people, and I want to stop being exploited. And so I'm working on this journey with whoever's listening. If you want to walk on this adventure with me, I would love to walk with others against being exploited. And again, I'm not like an anarchist. I'm not against capitalism, but it's just saddening to me how little moral fabric people have in this country in today's day and age. I think that it's something that's missing in our society. And I'm not saying that, back in the 1950s, we used to have moral integrity. And it's like, no, we didn't. I don't know that if America has ever had moral integrity. I don't know if humanity as a whole has ever had moral integrity. But it's a rare trait to have. And, people become legalistic, and they stop having emotions. They don't care. Being professional means that, you follow the rule book. And I just don't agree with that. I think I care about helping others. The only way that the capitalists can profit is if you make mistakes, right? And if you buy into their offers. Look, I got an offer. This is an offer you can't turn down. And let me tell you right now, if you ever hear that in your life, you run away. You run so freaking fast and far away from it. I recently had an old schoolmate that I grew up with. We went to class together for 12 years, from first grade all the way up to 12th grade. And she came out of the blue and added me on Facebook. And we didn't talk a whole lot, but I always thought she was pretty cool and interesting. But and I thought, hey, let's get in touch. And but it turned out that she just wanted to try to sell me something. She started a company, and she started, out saying, hey, it's been a long time. I know this is kind of out of the blue, but I just really had this goal to get in touch with people again. And I thought, wow, that's great. But then the more she talked, the more I realized that she was just trying to sell me something. And I told her flat out, I said, look, it's great to talk to you again, but I'm not interested in any products and services. But, I hope that we can keep talking. And sure enough, the next day she sent me another message saying, oh, great, then I'd like to tell you more about this product or service. And I said, I didn't say anything. I actually just blocked her. I feel bad. I grew up with this small class of about 60 students, same class that I grew up with for 12 years. And it just hurts me to have to block her. But it's like, look, I don't give a damn. I'm not buying any of your stuff. I told her frankly, and it's she started to sound like a telemarketer, and it's sick and saddening, that that's all that people care about anymore. It's money and exploiting people and getting a leg up. I'm tired of it, I'm not quite sure if I would call myself a hippie, but I'd like to say that I'm trying to unplug. I'm trying to unplug from stuff. I want to help people genuinely, I want to help people out genuinely. When I see homeless people, I don't give them money. I give them food. I give them food, or I'll give them clothes. I don't give people money. You don't need money. Money corrupts you, and it corrupts me, and it corrupts everybody. Well, anyways, I think I'm done venting for the day. Watch out. Don't get exploited out there, okay? Take care, everybody.